Early voting started in Arizona today, and both campaigns held events to persuade voters there. Laura Barone Lopez has this report.
As another hurricane barrels towards Florida, Vice President Kamala Harris criticized Donald Trump for spreading disinformation about Hurricane Helene during a phone interview on CNN.
It is dangerous. It is unconscionable, frankly, that anyone who would consider themselves a leader would mislead desperate people to the point that those desperate people would not receive the aid to which they are entitled.
But in Pennsylvania, former President Trump continued to spread false information about the federal response to Hurricane Helene.
And we have another big one coming in, but the worst, the one in North Carolina, Georgia, Alabama, Virginia, pieces of Florida got hit. I mean, it's incredible. The worst ever, they say. They had no money. You know where they gave the money? To illegal immigrants coming in, many of whom are killers.
Harris left New York today to campaign in Las Vegas after a series of media appearances. On The Late Show with Stephen Colbert last night, Harris took aim at Trump's relationship with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
He gets played by these guys. He admires so-called strongmen, and he gets played because they flatter him or offer him favor.
In an upcoming book, Washington Post journalist Bob Woodward reports that Trump sent COVID-19 test machines to Putin during a shortage in the U.S. and has had up to 7 private phone calls with Putin since leaving the White House.
He thinks Vladimir Putin is his friend. What about the American people? They should be your first friend.
The Kremlin confirmed that Trump sent them COVID-19 tests, but denied that multiple calls between Trump and Putin had taken place. On the other side of the country, the vice presidential candidates made their cases in Arizona. Trump's running mate, Senator J.D. Vance, held a rally in Tucson.
If you want a government that puts the interests of American citizens first, the only person to vote for is Donald J. Trump.
Just 2 hours north in Phoenix, his opponent, Governor Tim Walz, campaigned with Jim McCain, son of the late Republican Senator John McCain.
It's not about politics, it's about basic human decency. It's about leadership and character.
Yesterday, in Arizona's most populous county, election officials ran accuracy tests on voting equipment.
There is so much attention to elections these days, and Maricopa County has really sort of been the center of a lot of exposure.
Early voting in Arizona started today, and all eyes will be on bellwether Maricopa County. For the PBS NewsHour, I'm Laura Barone Lopez.